Artfight. One of the biggest art events of the year and my first time doing it. So, I've been seeing Artfight lingering around the space since back to my traditional ways of drawing, and to be honest, I didn't pay too much attention to the whole idea. I saw the tag, I guess you could say, like the tag Artfight hashtag on Pinterest and these other platforms, and I didn't pay too much mind to it until I did my research back this year, which honestly is I wouldn't say is a late time to start, but it's certainly not the earliest, you could say. And I said, okay, this should be fun. Let me research it, do some research, digging up to see what it is about. Okay, I watched a video or something that briefly mentioned the event from one of the art YouTubers or someone I was watching, and I said, oh, well, that sounds interesting. So I said, why not? That's essentially how it started. At first, the rules put me off. Well, not the rules essentially, but the idea behind it felt odd because the term is art fight, but in actuality, it's not much of a fight, to be really with you. It's more so of like an event to share arts with artists and, well, yourself, assuming you draw and post creative arts on the website, and it's just basically one enormous art share event. So multiple different artists come together around the world and share their arts in digital, traditional. It's fun. It was very interesting. From what I saw, it just looked cool because I just love to draw characters. Look, of all the things that I have pending right now in my own personal work, comic or animation, learning to do proper animation and comic work and trying my best not to procrastinate, well, this is by far the better, I guess, procrastination, because at least I'm drawing and getting stuff done, even if it wasn't much. I'm still happy with how it turned out overall. And since it's once per year, by the way, I decided to do it now because when will you get a better time to do it? You have to basically wait until next year. Now, this is no reason to rush, but it's definitely more of like okay, you do it now or you don't, basically, even if I was unprepared. And we'll get to that soon enough, because that is basically the whole reason I even made this video. Well, part of the reason, I guess, and why it's a disaster. Now for the next portion of this video. Let me get this disclaimer out of the way right now. This is not any negative stance I have on this event. If there's anything that you might deem negative or just being hateful, this is not my way to hate on anything, alright? I enjoyed the event, but of course there were setbacks. To be honest, setbacks made by me and partially on the website itself. So now, one of my own problems is that I have too many characters. So in a nutshell, if you want to understand me and what I do, I like to draw comics, and ever since I was little, I drew characters in these stories, and TLDR, I have plenty characters overall, like through the years of me just doing a bunch of comic scrapbook I had in my notebooks, and having fun doing them. I have a vast amount, right? But for this time, I try to keep it simple because I have these, I guess, personas, these characters you might see on screen right now, and they don't have like a story or anything. I just draw them purely for fun. And one of them, Orange, he's the mascot of this page too. So he's the top dog, as I always say. He's my boy. These 5 characters is what I plan to use for basically most of this this event, well, the whole event for this year so far. Now, if you're new and don't understand the rules, I am terrible at explaining, so sorry, but I'll put it down in a link so you could, I guess, read it for yourself. But in a nutshell, from what I could, I guess, terribly explain, you have your own base set of characters, and if you choose not to, you don't need to have characters technically. And you have your characters and other people have their characters, and your job is to basically draw them. And you have our team, you set in one team, and other artists are set in our next team, and the whole goal is to draw each other characters, and you gain points. And there's a whole bunch of like stuff like friendly fire and all that, but again, read the website. Sorry, I can't explain well because I am too terrible at explaining things, so my apologies. Either way, I saw I was influenced by some of the art tubers that I follow, like some of the people that I show on screen right now. Look at them. Hey, follow them if you like. Now for the first and formal problem, the website. This website, as much, again, no hate, I would say it's more constructive criticism, but I was giving you my experience, right? So, you know, you might get a bit of constructive criticism and my experience in this mix, but for the most part, it was, well, just nah. Like, words cannot explain how confused I was getting on that website, because I'm not new to the internet, right? I'm not new to exploring tabs and all that stuff, but this website, it truly is just trying its best to put me off, I guess you could say. But again, you shouldn't get deterred. Like, if you're an artist, you shouldn't get deterred, right? It's not impossible to navigate, but it was definitely not easy, especially when it came to customizing my profile and everything. So it wasn't impossible, I guess you could say, but it was not as, I guess, streamlined as I thought it would be. Having to look up on YouTube or reread the tutorial. At least they give you tutorials. Look, props to them, dog. They give you tutorials. They give you the options. They say, hey, you don't understand this? Look, you could, you know, copy and paste this into that. And by the way, I would advise using desktop, because the mobile version is trash. Okay, not trash, but it's just not, I just feel like it's not all that good. But you know, you do you. If you find the mobile version good, you can use the mobile version. But I feel like the desktop was just, because you could have multiple tabs open, you just have better, you know, leeway with so many things you could do. But the website was by far the biggest and most confusing thing in this whole event. Now, I will give credit to where it's due. They have a lot of customization on the website itself, so you can't make like cool stuff, and I would show some of that on screen. You could do some cool stuff. It's cool, you know, it is cool. But navigating it was kind of a problem in that sense, because if it's your first time, then you might get confused. But I will give props to it. It is well crafted, I guess you could say, in that sense. So if you're new, just don't be intimidated. Now, my second reason to why this is more of like a disaster is because of my own personal fault. I am an overthinker. I think too much. You know, I wish I could just kill this habit entirely. Like if overthinking was a person, I would kill it. But yes, this is just my own problem, and at first I wanted to do it all. I wanted to customize my profile. I wanted to add all these cool shiny gimmicks that, you know, you see on these other profiles, and I just wanted it all. But I wanted to start drawing like right away. But you know, so you already see the problem right now, right? I want to do all these different things, but I'm only one person. I'm only one person with a limited amount of time between going to a job and then, I guess, drawing, or just being burnt out from drawing. So it's just a compilation of happening, and I just cannot understand why I can't just let go of this just constant overthinking. So that one is also my bad. I also recently found a new term for this. I think it's option paralysis, or it could be kind of wrong, but I think this honestly is the best way to explain what I feel right now, and I have it so bad. It is ridiculous. Now, mix option paralysis with burnout, and you get the most cancerous piece of shit you could ever imagine. Now, with all that negativity out of the way, I did enjoy this art fight. It was fun. I did have 8 attacks or drawings or artwork, and I did enjoy it. I did enjoy my time drawing it. You know, it was fun for the times being. The times that I had to draw, I made sure I'd have it there. I might post all of the attacks on ArtStation, or you could just look at the art profile if you want to basically look at the site. But by the time of this video, you should be able to see it on my ArtStation. You know, you don't need an account to see it. So, you know, at least if you're interested, you can see it there. Overall, the event was fun. I did enjoy it. Anything else to say? Oh, yes. Shout out to all of the people that drew my characters. I will put you on the screen because I do not receive fan art. You know, it's basically my first time receiving any type of fan art, and I think it's cool. This is kind of what the event's all about too. Now, obviously, you shouldn't go with the expectation of people drawing your characters, because, you know, not everybody might be, you know, lucky, but, you know, that's kind of part of the event as well. You know, you might think, oh, I'm not gonna be that lucky, but you might, you know, you will. So yeah, shout out to the top dogs you see on the screen. I enjoyed all these pieces. Thank you. This is a small mini rant to people who do recordings and listen to their own voice. I had several takes of this damn mother recording, man. It's so ridiculous. Seriously, how do people do this? They have to listen to their own voice on loop, and then, you know, it's like that one meme where, like, oh, you do something one day and you're like, oh, this is fire, but the next day you wake up and you look at it and it's like, it's so much ass. And then this is basically me with these recordings, because the first recording I had, it was like, oh, this recording might be good. Second day, wake up, listen to it, oh my god, I wanted to just scrape my tongue out of my mouth. How do people do this? Ay. Anyways, you know, enjoy the outro music.